This episode of Empty Betters is brought to you by DraftKings. The NBA 82 game grid is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for the high stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40 or more? It's your call. Here's something special for first timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to episode 260 of Empty Betters. I'm your host, Harrison Scholes. I'm going to toss it across the screen to my co-host, Nick Manella.
What's up, dude? Crazy night of hockey, another big night. Couple series that I feel like are coming a little bit out of left field, so I am eager and surprised to talk puck with you boys today.
Yes, sir. We've had two back-to-back incredible nights of playoff hockey. We're recording this on Friday, so we'll talk about Wednesdays and Thursdays actions as well as maybe give some predictions for the weekend. But before we get to that, we got to toss it off to my other co-host up in Wisco, Mr. Mac Vogel.
Yeah, I agree with Nick. I think a few of these series are definitely not panning out the way I expected so far, but that's playoff hockey for you, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, we got a lot to unpack, so we're not going to pitter-patter too much at the start here. But just some general questions I'd be interested to hear your guys' answers before we start talking news, highlights, drama, all that stuff. What's been your favorite series so far?
It's a great question.
Need a great answer.
I know.
I think I have mine.
Go ahead
I'm,
if you're ready. I got to think about it a little harder.
Yeah,
I
same
have,
here.
I had a feeling I would sneaky like this one. I've really enjoyed Winnipeg, St. Louis. I think that's been a great one so far.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to go with LA and Edmonton. It's been really fun to watch that Kings team kind of put the hurt on the Oilers after, 3, 4 years in a row of heartbreak.
I mean, this is probably like an unfair answer because it's obvious, but honestly, I think the Cap series has been really good.
Ugh,
Like it's been competitive. It's been
snooze fest.
interesting to watch the new generation of the Caps players perform and all that. So I'm gonna go with the homer answer.
It's also
Yeah,
been
it's good.
chippy as hell. Like I know like
Yeah.
Winnipeg and St. Louis has been pretty chippy. Florida and Tampa, of course, Battle of Ontario, of course, but that Caps Habs one has been pretty nasty.
Yeah, we've got Habs fans crying about cross checks to the face and not getting called and all that. So that's always fun.
Right.
Up to this point, Friday, who's your Conn Smythe front runner? Way too early prediction.
Kaprizov.
It's hard to
Mm,
argue.
yeah, that's pretty fair. If I had to pick somebody else, I don't know. Buchnevich just had a hat trick.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's kind of
he
all it takes. 3 games in is like one big game like that.
give you a weird one. The three leaders in points in the playoffs so far: Kaprizov, Kempe, and Cam Fowler.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
weird.
Cam Fowler has 7 points.
Okay.
How do you feel about your guys' bracket?
Oh, toast. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like take the whole toaster outside. It's smoking, smoke alarms going off, throw it in the driveway. Like it's that on fire right
I
now.
think my West is actually looking pretty good. My East is a mess. It's going to be a mess.
And then lastly, which team because we're blessed right now to not have any tied series at the moment of this recording. Which team currently losing their series do you think has the best chance of coming back?
Probably Colorado, I guess.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I'll go with Rado.
I'd say in a
Hmm.
weird way, Edmonton. I mean, I feel like with 97, you just can never count them out.
Yeah, that's fair.
I see. I thought someone would say Tampa. It's only 2-0. We only have two
Yeah,
done through there,
they
but
I
just
don't
haven't
know.
looked
Yeah,
I don't know that
good.
no, and that Panthers team just looks exactly like last year. They're just like, nope, we're back and we're determined and we're just gonna shit all over you.
Yeah, and then they hold up like Marchand by the scruff of his neck, and they're like, "Oh, we found this like feral barn cat like outside too, and now he's playing for us."
Yep.
I might pick
Mar
St.
Go
I
ahead.
might, I might pick St. Louis. I don't know. I
Okay.
love that game three
Wow.
performance.
That was a statement win for sure in
They've
Yeah.
that
played
game.
well. They've been in every game.
Yep.
Um, So, all right. Well, we are going to kick off the episode by talking about the games coming up on Friday, and then we'll dive into more of the Saturday action here. But tonight, Friday, we got Caps, Canadians, Hurricanes, Devils, and Kings, Oilers. All game threes, all have series with 2-0 leaders. So let's start with the Washington Capitals. What are we expecting in tonight's pivotal game three at the Bell Center?
Well, I'm certainly expecting a raucous crowd in that arena. It's going to be something to see for sure. They're going to be jacked up. So that'll definitely be interesting to see how that plays into the game. See how some of the younger Caps players can perform under that kind of spotlight. And same for Montreal. Honestly, I mean they got a ton of young guys, youngest team in the league in the or youngest team in the playoffs, I think. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the lights are too bright or if those guys kind of rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a tough place to play. We've talked about that, a lot, and I think the Caps just need to go in there, stick to how they've started every other game this series, stick to that physicality, that mindset, getting out there, getting on those Habs early, just simplify things. I mean, it's a crazy atmosphere. I feel like we just can't really beat around that. So you just gotta get in there and get through that first 10 minutes and get those first shifts under your belt.
Yeah, and was it one of you that told me the other day? I think it was that the Habs they've lost like once in regulation at home since like February or something like that.
Yeah, it's like night and day, their road and home record.
Yeah, I know they're a really
Yeah.
good home team, so that'll certainly be interesting to see.
Something I think that was interesting that Joby was talking about on the broadcast in game two was the matchup that the Caps have been having to put out there against the Caulfield Suzuki line, and that shifting now to Montreal having last change in the Bell Center as the home team. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's a big deal for sure. I know, I know Carberry wants PLD playing against those guys. Typically, PLD all season long is the guy that is getting minutes against the top line from any other team. So, um, he'll match it up as much as he can, but you're gonna have to rely on the fly changes for that kind of thing when you're on the road. And there's certainly going to be more situations where you can't get the line you want out there. So, yeah, I'm sure the rest of the lines for the Caps know like the assignments and know just you might end up here, you might end up out there against this guy. Here's what we want you to do. So hopefully it's next man up.
I said in our previews that this series would probably end up coming down to if some of these wild cards on Montreal can show up, mostly being Demidov and Line. And my God, has it been abysmal in the first two games for both of them.
Yeah,
Line gets benched in the entire third period of game two. They're putting Dvorak out there instead of him. And I don't blame him. He's looked atrocious.
Dvorak's a good player too, and he's looked good.
Yeah, he has. And then Demidov doesn't even have a shot on net through two games in the series. So like you do those two things, it's like they're a one-line team with Suzuki and Caulfield and Slavkovsky's probably the softest 6'4" guy I've seen in the NHL. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's so stupid. But Logan Thompson in game two, the story of that one, played unbelievable, especially in that third period when they were getting peppered. I think if he carries that into game three, Montreal's going night night here pretty
Yeah,
quick.
I don't know about night night, but I think the Caps are definitely going to need another big performance out of LT, especially with the jump that Caulfield and Suzuki and probably even Line A are going to have with that home crowd behind them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, something that is not necessarily at the forefront of storylines for this series that I've been thinking about is just Montreal's overall like struggle to score goals, basically. Like if you look back at game one, they don't have any goals and we're under 10 minutes in the third period. Like at that point, I thought we were just going to shut them out. I was like, oh, we're about to get like a 2-0 or 3-0 shutout win here. And then obviously they just get the one in game two. So um, it'll be interesting to see. I really hope that LT can just kind of keep the momentum going. It's been fantastic to see him bounce back with this kind of momentum after being on the shelf for 3+ weeks.
Yeah, the Caps like because I've gotten to watch both games like really in depth. The Caps like team defense, I give Carbs a lot of credit, man. Those guys are swarming pucks. I know Montreal had some pretty good grade A chances, most notably that Evans one where everyone thought LT stopped it, but it went off the post.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But they keep everything to the outside. There's not a lot of high danger chances. And when you've got Line A, taking one timers with his ass on the wall, I mean, it's, not hard to make stops when there's no angle. So
It's a great shot, but yeah, you're not going high percentage there with that one, Patty.
Yeah.
So game three predictions. Nick, I know you'll be trying to run the board here on our social media. What are we thinking?
I like the Caps. I like the momentum. I like what I've seen out of LT. I think PLD has another big game tonight, just clogging up that middle. So hopefully more of the same.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the Caps too. I think before the series, I would have said that if Montreal was going to stay in this, and I think I've got Caps in six, so theoretically I've got the Habs winning two games here. You would think tonight would be the one or one of the ones that they get, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time seeing it. I like our momentum, like Nick said, and I'm thinking we get another dub tonight.
Harry, I think you make a great point. Keeping things to the outside, and that's a huge reason why I think Demidov and Line have been so sort of handcuffed. They just really haven't gotten that many looks, and nor do I want them to get any more.
I, I mean, obviously, I want the Habs to win, not only because I don't want the Caps to move on, but I would prefer a good series. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Habs. Do I think they'll win? Probably not. I'm rooting for them. I think Montembeau's honestly played pretty well.
He's been very good.
It's not his fault that they're in this spot. So
No.
let's see. Let's see Lane Hudson on the PP tonight. Maybe just get like a soft little roaster through traffic. That's what I would expect.
Okay.
But we will move on to the other series with a game three tonight, going to the wonderful city of Newark, New Jersey, God's country, as some would call it. Uh, we're going to go with Carolina and the Devils. Carolina up 2-0 in that game two. Huge loss with Luke Hughes and Brendan Dillon out. I have not heard if they're going to go tonight. I'm going to anticipate the answer is no, but no official word. What are we thinking?
I'll tell you what, this series has been a lot more exciting than I expected. Not necessarily in the score, but just like from just throwing the game on and trying to hold my interest. It's been good hockey, especially that second game. I thought was a really entertaining one to watch. I give New Jersey credit with all their injuries. They're battling and they're staying in this thing. I mean, I know they haven't won a game in the series yet, but yeah, like I said, both these games I think have been competitive enough where, it's about all New Jersey can do right now with their lineup.
Yeah, they need something. So it's like if they're going to get back into the series, this is the game you have to have. If they go down 3-0, I just, like Max said, with the injuries and the amount of crap they have going on right now, I just don't see a world where they can get back into a series against a team like Carolina.
Also confirmed Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes will be out again for game three.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, I give Jersey credit. That game two effort was pretty solid, but Carolina's deeper. Carolina's better. They're better coached, in my opinion. And Freddie Anderson looked really good in that game too. I mean, he played awesome for the Canes.
Yeah, he's somebody that I'm kind of harsh on just because I know he gets injured a lot, and I kind of feel like he's past his prime a little bit. But yeah, he's kind of proven me and the other haters wrong. He's looked very good so far, I think.
This comes to us from Puck Picks. If you're looking to make a little wager on this and you're listening before the game, Jordan Martinook in his last 7 playoff games against Carolina has a point in all of them. And in 5 of them, they're actually multi-point games. So he has been unreal.
In his last playoff games against Jersey, you mean?
Yeah, his last 7 playoff games against Jersey, he has a 7 game point streak.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
And he had a pretty sick goal in that game 2 contest that busted
Yeah,
them up with the lead.
he's
So
definitely an underrated player. I think you said that the other day. I agree.
Marty Party, as the Caniacs would call him. Way too much lingo there. I'm gonna go. I feel like it might be the same score. I'm gonna go 3-1 Carolina for game 3.
5-2 Canes.
Ooh.
I like Jersey to steal one. I don't know why it makes sense. I can't like explain it to you, but I just think they'll find a way to get some luck or something and steal one tonight. I'm gonna go actually I'm gonna go Jersey 3-2 in regulation though.
Ooh. Okay, I like a little underdog there. All right, we're gonna jump to the late night game for Friday, and that is the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers in what should be an absolute scene in Alberta tonight. This just comes over to us about a few minutes ago. Calvin Pickard is now the starter for Game 3 for the Edmonton Oilers. They have benched Stuart Skinner for giving up 12 goals through the first 2 games of the series.
Oh my God, let's go. I love this shit.
Now,
This is so awesome.
I'm digging into my archives here in my memory bank. I am pretty sure this exact same thing happened last year when they played Vancouver in round 2 and
Yeah,
Picard won.
Yes.
yep.
And then
And
it
then
jumped
somehow
from there.
they ended up with Skinner back in net and going to
Yeah.
the cup final. So I don't
Yeah.
you tell
Coming
So
me.
within one game of winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you tell me how any of that makes sense. But um wow. I mean, hats off to the script writers on this one.
so obviously LA has pounced at the Ekholm injury, Skinner being a little lackadaisical in net here. They've got 12 goals through the first 2 games of the series. They absolutely butt fucked the Oilers in game 2 with a 6-2 win. Kempe has looked incredible. Kuzmenko, Byfield, all these guys, like they're just humming at the moment. So now the series shifts back to Alberta. We know what Edmonton's going to look like this evening. Uh, do we think Edmonton can take game 3?
I feel like they probably will. I just have a hard time as much as I love to shit on this team, because they're not good. Um, I I just have a hard time like seeing McDavid and Leon allowing them to go down 3-0, if that makes sense. Like I think they'll just somehow find a way to steal one.
Hard to beat a team 3 games in a row. Let's be
It is.
real. So
Yep.
I think it makes sense to think that the Oilers can get it done tonight. I kind of feel like the
Hmm.
goaltending change maybe is a nice little soft reset for that team going
Yeah.
back home, shift the focus.
Yep.
Um, Mac, what's the saying? You're never in trouble until you lose at home.
Correct. Yep.
So, yeah, I have a feeling they bounce back tonight, but I think the inability to score in the first period is pretty concerning. Especially, I mean, it's the Oilers; they should be able to score whatever the hell they want. But
Right.
it seems like they've been like leaving it to the third period to have to do these like dramatic comebacks, and that's just not going to work.
Well, a big part of it is what I sent you guys came from Big Head Hockey
Yeah,
was what LA has done with their new coaching system. Just some adjustments on kind of how they play the neutral zone when the Oilers are trying to get up ice. It's just, sometimes it only takes just a slight adjustment on the way that you do something, and it makes a world of a difference. So that's what we're seeing.
I'm going out on the wild side here. It's been a rough evening for me in terms of winning money on DraftKings because the Vegas Golden Knights are just getting destroyed. But we'll talk about that in a little bit here. This feels like a parlay where like McDavid 3 points, Draisaitl 3 points, parlay them both. It's probably some insane payout. But the fact that McDavid didn't get on the score sheet in game 2, I would fully anticipate he's in for a multi-point game here tonight.
probably.
And Leon, he's got goals in both games, I believe. I know he had one in game two. I'm trying to remember about game one, but
I think
those two guys.
so. I can't remember.
I think the Oilers should win. What I'm not sure of is we've got the over/under here at 6. Every game so far has gone over. Do you think that Picard kind of holds down the fort and we see maybe a tighter contest here tonight?
No, not really.
No, I don't
I,
Letting
I
the
know.
horses
honestly,
run?
I honestly think we may get like a reversal of game two. Like I could see like a big Oilers win tonight, like a 6-3 or something like that. But I do think there'll be a lot of goals.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got Oilers for game three. It sounds like you two are maybe in agreement.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
All right, we'll see what happens. The game four should be on Sunday, so obviously can't give predictions until we know game three, but
Hmm.
that should be a good weekend to watch this series unfold. Let's move over to Colorado and Dallas. We've got a wild series going on here. We've got back-to-back OT games, similar to Maple Leafs and the Senators, and the same team has won both of them, Dallas. The first one, they had Blackwell score the game winner, and then in game three, to spoil Landeskog's return, Tyler Seguin scores the game-winning goal in overtime. And the Dallas Stars are up in the series 2-1.
Yeah, that was a huge win for them. I mean, talk about a team that needed a win. The Dallas Stars desperately needed one and they got it. So I really like what I'm seeing from Jamie Benn. Seems like he's turned the clock back a little bit when it comes to the postseason. I know we can be hard on this guy because during the regular season, it doesn't really seem like he's doing much out there, but clearly a guy that knows how to get it done in the big moments.
Yeah, I mean, this series, it's a really good snapshot of what playoff hockey is all about because you look back at the moment in game two where Dallas is down in the third period, it's getting a little late, and you're thinking, holy shit, if this team loses both of their home games and they go down 2-0 headed back to Colorado, like it's all but over basically. And then they tie it, and then they win in overtime, and then they come to the next game and they're trailing the whole time, and then they win that one in overtime. Like it just shows you that in any given moment, the entire series can get flipped on its head with one goal or one hit or whatever it is. So it's been crazy. I can't believe that Dallas has only led for like what was it, 2 minutes or something like that.
They've led in this series for a minute and 2 seconds, and they are
Yeah.
up
That's
2-1.
crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, I mean it's exciting for Stars fans, that's for sure. Can we talk about the Nichushkin goal for a second? Because I have never seen
Yeah.
like what the hell happened with Dallas's coverage on that goal. It-
So if you everyone was bashing Duchesne because he was on the ice and
yeah,
the coverage got lost because there was kind of like a moving pick. I think it was with
yeah.
Brock Nelson.
It's a confusing play for sure, but
Yeah.
it just the way it looks, it makes them look so bad. Like if you watch it in slow-mo and you follow the guy with the puck, you can kind of see how they got mixed up and it's like, all right, like mistakes happen, but it looks so bad. It looks like
I know what you're
varsity
saying.
against JV. Like they're all just standing there and they let him walk right down the middle.
That and who was the Oilers defenseman that just completely backed off Byfield for his second goal in game two
Oh,
and just let him have like a just walk into
yeah.
the net?
Right
Yeah.
down Main Street. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it was weird. Like the little pick with Nelson, and then Duchesne, I guess, was like, "Well, it's man on man, and I don't know what to do." And Nichushkin, what did I say? It's the most Russian goal I've ever seen
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
just he just wheels around the offensive. So it's like, "Oh, I scored now," and just
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah,
Um,
basically.
Big storyline in that one. Jake Ottinger holding down the fort. The Avalanche finished 0 for 6 on the power play on home ice in a playoff game. I would never have guessed that would have ever happened with some of the offensive power they have there.
Plus, with the juice they had going into that game, like Landeskog coming back at home, I mean,
Yeah.
Mac, you talked about Dallas needing that huge win in game two. It's like if they don't get game two done at home, I don't know if they could go in to Denver for game three with Landeskog coming
Yeah,
back and getting a win
exactly.
there.
It's all those little moments. That's what I'm saying.
I gotta call out one guy here just because as a guy rooting for the Avs in this series, this is pretty evident. Brock Nelson has done fuck all.
Yeah,
What are we
no.
doing here?
Yeah.
No points, no goals, no assists. He is a he is literally a cardio king. Looking at the score sheet here, he's got to do something.
Yeah.
He misses the bagels. He needs his Long Island bagels. That's
There
why
you
he's not
go.
scoring.
Yeah, he's not having his breakfast of champions.
Yeah. Salt, pepper, ketchup.
Ooh, don't
Always.
tempt me. So we got game four coming on, I believe that's Saturday. It's basically must win for Colorado because going to Dallas down 3-1 is gonna blow. Are we all picking the Avs? Is that
I
I
think
think
so.
so. Yeah, like
I
I think
also
they
just
bounce back.
I think this is the recipe of how like we all knew this would be a long series, and I think this is kind of the recipe for how we get there. I think this turns into a best of three.
Yeah.
also just huge shout out to Landeskog and his family for having that
Yeah,
really cool
seriously.
sign. Like
Yeah, that
that
is
was
sick.
electric. So happy for him.
Also,
He played
I don't
well.
want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to real quick. Can I just tell you how sick it would be if in the first round we get eliminated Tampa Bay, Vegas, and Colorado, like all those big guns. They're all kind of in danger right now.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I
we are
probably
really
just
getting ahead of
jinxed it, but
ourselves. Yeah.
Edmonton too.
hmm well, they're not a good hockey team, so it doesn't really matter.
What about LA? They might Nick has LA in the finals.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Yeah. You gotta maybe get them out. I think I'd rather have Edmonton in than LA, to be honest.
Well, in terms of like
Eh,
teams I'm scared of, sure, but in terms of teams I like, no.
Have we talked about Winnipeg, St. Louis? I don't think we did yet.
no.
No.
Game three, just an ass kicking. Only way to put it. St. Louis comes out, they're down 2-0 in the series, back at home, and they put a beat down on Winnipeg and win this game 7-2. Buchnevich with a hat trick. Cam Fowler looked excellent. Jimmy Snuggerud is really coming into his own. And then Hellebuck was yanked in this game after letting in 6 goals on 25 shots. Uh, how scared are we, Winnipeg Mac?
I didn't realize how bad he is with the puck.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that play where he
So
Yes.
like,
this
Yes.
it was the hat trick goal, right?
yes,
Yeah.
like holy crap, dude.
Yeah, that's one he's gonna want back.
He's not even looking. Like if you look
Yeah.
at he never turns his head to the right. He's just taking a walk in the park out there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So Mac, as the Winnipeg Cup rider here, are we
yep.
a little bit nervous?
Uh a little bit, but more for the long term. I don't think they're gonna have a problem eliminating St. Louis. I think they'll get out of this series. I'm not worried in the sense of like, oh shit, St. Louis might come back and win this thing. They could, but I'm mostly not worried about that. I'm just worried that if they're playing games like this, where a team like St. Louis is, I mean, let's be real, they could have won any of these games. Um, that's what worries me. Like for the next round and beyond, if Winnipeg gets there, if you're having trouble with St. Louis, what does that say about, if they have to play LA or anybody else?
Yeah, that's a great point. I've been impressed by what I've seen from Jimmy Snuggerud. His playmaking, his positioning, it all looks fantastic. He was mixing it up with Luke Shen last night. It looks like it was basically a seamless transition for him to come from the college game to the pro game. So that's been awesome for the Blues. But yeah, that's just, I feel like we can't overstate how much of a massive win that was for them. I mean, they needed that so badly. And I think they proved like, hey, we belong here, we belong in the series, and we can hang with this Winnipeg team.
I think Robert Thomas is like, we've said it already, but he is so goddamn good and he gets no national recognition. And he was what was he, the scoring leader in the NHL since the Four Nations break ended, coming into the playoffs. I mean, he just stands out every time I watch him play. I think this Blues team can knot this up. I really have liked what I've seen, even in their losses so far.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I also think, I mean, Rob Thomas, great. I liked him more with Matchbox 20, but I mean, his solo stuff is really good too. So,
Game four, game four predictions. What are we thinking here? I'm gonna go ahead and roll with St. Louis again, I think.
Yeah, I like
it's
it.
tough. This is a really tough one to pick, honestly. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna go Winnipeg.
Okay.
Did you guys see the Pareko one-timer on the power play last night?
Insane.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like that had to
Yeah.
be well over 105, right?
It was a bomb.
Yeah, it was a BB.
I wish I can't remember if that was the ESPN game or not, but usually on TNT they have like the little ticker that shows you the
Right.
Right.
APH. I wish they would have had that because that was a bomb. All right. Next series, which is really just eating at me after I declared it over in the last episode. Vegas and Minnesota in what is now completely turned upside down in Minnesota is leading the series 2-1 as they won game two, 5-2, and they also won game three back at home 5-2. This is not good.
But
I
they're a
am
one-line team, right,
officially,
Harry?
yeah,
Well, they kind of are. I mean, if like Boldy and Kaprizov are just
I don't
insane.
necessarily disagree. I just like giving you shit.
I'm officially removing the boring tag from the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
I think it's time to pull it off.
you've done it. Okay.
Yeah.
They're must watch.
Oh yeah. After last night, I mean, that was unbelievable. Boldy looked incredible.
He's
Their,
so fun to
their
watch.
crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm quickly learning and remembering why this team was so good prior to Kaprizov getting hurt in December, and why Kaprizov was also leading the NHL in scoring prior to his injury in December. And now I feel like he just rested way longer than he probably needed to get healthy, and he is unleashing the wrath of God on Aiden Hill and co. And I am very scared. I think the biggest storyline here as a guy rooting for Vegas who also picked them to win the cup is Mr. Jack Eichel and Mark Stone, the two best players on the team or two best forwards on the team, have also done fuck all so far. No points.
It's not just them, it's Barbashev too. It's the whole top line are pointless in the
Yeah,
series.
it's rough. It's rough right now. They've got to wake up. There's no other way to put it. You cannot have your star players scoreless through 3 games of a series and expect to win. I'd honestly even go as far to say I'm holding out a little bit of hope because this series is still 2-1 and nobody on Vegas has really done anything. So I'm like, all right, if they wake up, they should be able to somehow rebound from this. We'll see if that happens in game four. My confidence is pretty low.
Yeah. Would you guys go back to Hill in game four?
There's only one man that can save the Vegas Golden Knights.
Exactly. Akira
And
Schmid.
no, and he's got duct tape all around his blocker glove and
That's
stick.
right.
Oh, pulling out from the
Firmly grasp
dungeon.
it in your hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Ilya Samsonov back into the
Yeah, I
mix.
don't even know like where he's at right now. For all I know, he's like in Russia, like just sitting on the couch. I haven't heard about him in like months.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I'd go back to Hill. I mean, did he play great last game? No. Did he play great in game two? Maybe not as bad as game three. We were talking about Hellebuck not being able to manage the puck. He basically, Aiden Hill, I think it was, I can't remember which goal it was. Maybe Minnesota's like third or fourth. Hannafin's wide open, and instead of just passing Hannafin the puck, he rims it up the wall, and Minnesota's just like, "Thank you very much," and they go ahead and score. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we fucking doing here?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
um,
you got to go back to Hill just because, like, with that goalie tandem, and it's nothing against Akira Schmid. It's just obviously Aiden Hill is very clearly like the 1A goalie in that
Yes.
duo. He got paid. I think you have like if you're gonna win this series or make a run, it's gonna be with Aiden Hill. You can't really like
yeah,
it's not gonna help to
Let me
to
give you
try and
this.
ride Schmid.
Same exact scenario, one game in the future. It's shaky again. Do you then go with Schmid or are you like, no, this is my guy. I got to ride this out?
I really just think like, yeah, maybe like I get pulling Hill in a game to put Schmid in more of like a okay, we're already down, like we might as well try something situation. But I think you just start Hill and just keep doing that unless like he says he doesn't want to play or something. I doubt he would,
Right.
but
yeah. I think you ride with the guy who got you a cup 2 years ago. I mean, why wouldn't you,
yeah.
right?
True. Good point.
Matt Boldy scored in every game in this series. He's looked insane. You guys already mentioned that. Rossi gets his first playoff goal. Shea Theodore has been a whipping boy on Golden Knights Twitter. I've seen a lot of shit talked about him. He has not played all that great in these two losses. I thought in game one he actually looked pretty good, especially with that sweet assist he had on the power play. But these last two, man, it's been rough. There's no way to pitter patter around that. So game four, that is going to be Saturday in Mini. I'm going to declare that a must win for Vegas, in all likelihood. I don't know who wins. I really don't. But I know Jack Eichel is going to do something. He has to. 4 games in a row would be insane.
Minnesota 5-2.
Just 3 games in a row. Just ring them
I,
off.
I don't know. I'm mostly kidding. I do think they're gonna win though. I
I,
think they're
I
gonna win
I
that
don't blame you.
game.
I
And
want Minnie to win that game so bad. I just have a feeling Vegas is going to get it.
I'm getting so excited thinking about the idea of Vegas first round exit. It's so funny. It's so awesome. And that's why I'm a little scared because I'm getting too excited and it's probably not gonna happen. But
What's better, that or the Oilers getting a first round exit after being within one period of winning the Stanley Cup
I
last
mean,
year?
that's probably funnier, but like that's just what is going to happen. So I don't really even need to like worry about that one. So
I'm uh I'm gonna take Vegas, even though I am not very confident in that pick. I gotta imagine Eichel and Stone do something. I have to.
okay.
There's no
It's
choice.
got to wake up at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see a world where Jack Eichel goes an entire series without a point. I mean, that'd just be nuts. But we'll see. All right, we're gonna move back out east, Tampa and Florida, and just like we all predicted, Florida is up 2-0, taking both games on the road, and Nate Schmidt is leading this series in goal scoring.
Elite goal scorer, Nate Schmidt,
Uh,
aka the annoying orange.
So we got 2 games to go over, game two being the most recent, but game one was just a wild one. It was a pretty insane first period. Florida came out humming. I think it kind of caught everybody by surprise. And then Kachuk scored a pair in his first game since the Four Nations break and taunted the crowd, which was just so on brand. And Florida takes that one 6-2. And then in game two, everybody thought Tampa was going to win. And what happens? Bobrovsky posts a nice little shutout, and Florida takes the game 2-0. There's a lot of storylines coming out of game two. Probably the biggest one being Brandon Hagel's hit on Barkov. Knocked Barkov out of the game. We don't know any status about his injury. And now Hagel is going to have a hearing with the Department of Player Safety.
What am I missing here? I watched that hit and I don't really get it. It looked fine to me.
I think the hit itself was fine, but wouldn't you agree it was kind of late?
I guess maybe is that what they were looking because I was mostly looking for
Yeah, the
like
puck
head
wasn't like
contact or
anywhere near
something.
there.
Okay. All right. That maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to that because I was so focused on like watching like where the point of contact was. I can't even remember where the puck was. So
I
that's it. That makes sense.
I would have a hard time seeing this be like if he's got a hearing, anything more than one game to me, I think would be way excessive.
Well, if he's
But
got a hearing, he's getting suspended, right? I mean, that's
Is that
un
is that
unless
or
they
is there a
just fine him,
fine?
right?
I don't think they I think they just fine you. I don't think it's a hearing if
Okay.
I don't
Huh.
know. I could be wrong about that, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that
sure
would be a
he's
huge loss
yeah.
for both teams, obviously. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Hagel, I mean, that's a 90-point guy. He's kind of been their, other than Kucherov, maybe their best player all season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me,
Um,
the big storyline here with Tampa is game two, 0 for 5 on the power play, and only generating 2 shots across those 5 attempts. That is terrible. I mean, that power play was a top 5 power play in the league all season.
Yeah. They should be lethal.
so power play merchants is what I'm hearing.
Kinda.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when I said in our series preview, I said, why do I feel like we're gonna have a scenario where we're 2 or 3 games into the series and we're like, what's wrong with Kucherov? He's not doing so. And then I think I said Forsling's putting him through like the fucking bleachers or something like that.
Yeah.
I kind of had a weird feeling that Florida would do maybe not quite this, but I knew they would put up a fight. And shit, man, this is rough. So going into game three, back over to Sunrise, what are we thinking? Is Tampa dead?
I can't believe that I wrote the Panthers off the way I did just because of like their injuries and stuff. I really didn't think that they'd be able to do what
Injuries.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
You know what this Cats team feels like right now? It feels like when you're like you play a team in beer league, you play them 3 times during the regular season, you beat them all 3 times. They're not a team you're worried about, and then you're like, oh, that's who we get to play in the playoffs. Cool, let's do it. We had no problem with those guys, and then you line up against them, and they've got all these dudes who just were not on their team all year, and you're
Yeah.
like, can we get a roster check? Like, what the hell is going on here?
Oh, my season playing
That's so
junior
good.
ended, so I came back
Yeah,
home.
no,
Yeah.
exactly. And they're like, no, that this guy's number 18. He's been there the whole time. It's just like 6 feet tall and
It's
like
just Joe
not the
Sakic.
same guy. Yeah.
That's so good. I love that comparison, actually. Nick, what do you think?
I don't know, man. It's like it's must win. Game three is obviously must win. I think that goes without saying. It's gonna be really, really bad for Tampa if they don't have Hagel for that. I mean, Florida without Barkov is bad, but I feel like with Tampa just being under the gun like they are so much right now, I think that would be worse.
See now, as much as I would love to see the Lightning get like swept or something, because I mean that would just be funny. What I really wanted here from the start, I wanted these two teams to play each other so they could beat the shit out of each other, and then one of them get eliminated, and the other one
Yes.
have like nothing left in the tank to keep going further. So really, we need this to go 7, boys. Like we need this to go deep, and we need these teams to keep beating the shit out of each other. That's what we need.
It's gonna smell kind of fishy if Florida like got to wait until some series were like done playing game two to start their series, and then they sweep Tampa, and then they've got another week and a half off while everyone else is
Yeah,
playing. Like,
you're right, actually. I don't like that at all.
not to put on the tinfoil hat, but like,
Uh-huh,
yeah,
uh-huh. No, I'm putting it on with you.
yeah,
What year was it? It was in the last 3 years where they played each other. I think it was a second round, and one of them swept each other when no one thought. I think Tampa swept the Panthers when they still had Huberdeau, and that's what led to the trade. And everyone was like, remember we were all like, "Oh, Florida won the President's Trophy, like they're so good," and then Tampa fucked them up. I'm trying to
I
remember what year that was.
Yeah, I do
I think
remember
you're
that.
right.
And it
That
kind of
sounds
feels like
right.
the same vibe here, except the roles are reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that happened. I got to go back in the memory bank and check. But I would th actually I'll save this for the end, and then we can talk about it. Last series we're going to chat about. This one is all but over. The Leafs are up 3-0 against Ottawa, and they've got the brooms all but ready at this point. Two back-to-back overtime games. Domi and Benoit both being overtime heroes in game 2 and 3. This series has had a whole lot of drama that's not involving the game. We'll talk about that here in a second. But just to kind of quickly go over game 2, the Leafs pounced early. I think we were all like, this series is over, it's done. The power play was already humming with Tavares getting on the board, Riley as well. And then Brady Tkachuk, he scored his first ever career playoff goal in the second period. And then Adam Gaudette tied the game late in the third to force OT. And then tell me if you've ever heard this, you probably haven't, but a Domi and a Leaf sweater getting a huge goal in the playoffs to give Toronto their first 2-0 series lead since 2002, which is
it's
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And then in game 3, everyone thought Senators would bounce back because the series shifts to Ottawa. It looked like it was maybe going to do that. Giroux got on the board first for the Sens with a two-man advantage power play goal. And then Nyes, he's been so good this series. I think he's going to get whatever the fuck he wants in terms of free agent money. He scored on the power play to tie it up. And then how about Mitch Marner on that little silky between the legs one touch pass to Austin Matthews? That was sick to put the Leafs up 2-1.
That was sweet.
Yeah. Brady Tkachuk, again, great call by Mac, ties the game with 8 minutes left. And then just as everyone predicted, it was plus 8,000 live. I've seen people like publish their bet slips on Twitter. I'm like, how do you bet this? Simone Benoit Balls gets the OT winner, and the Maple Leafs are up 3-0 in the series.
That's unbelievable. I don't, who in their right mind actually bet that? That has to be photoshopped, right?
What, Nick, why did you say it? Like what
Yeah, you
what
said it too.
yeah,
You're like
what did
Benoit.
you
Oh, I'm
know?
just making the stupid reference from Archer where he like here's the guy's name is Benoit and then just keeps going balls like
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
yeah,
it ended
but
up
no, but
coming
like
true.
in the game, like it was 2-2, and you just texted Benoit,
Oh,
and we
because
were
they were
like,
talking about him on the broadcast.
"Oh, okay."
I
Well,
thought you
I
were a
thought you were like
prophet.
making a prediction, and then
Yeah.
he scored, and I was like, "What the fuck does
I
Nick
I
know?"
wish I would love to take credit for that one because God knows I need a win, but no.
All
Oh
right,
man,
well,
too funny.
yeah.
Um, the series is over.
Yeah,
The Matthews Balding thing, can we mention that?
that's funny.
That is
Yes,
so funny.
Senators fans chanting Matthews, Balding, and I don't know if that was before or after his goal, but he was pretty fired up when he scored.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of like a relatively like tame celebrator when he scores, but he was pretty fired up on
Like,
that
can
one.
you just for a second imagine a world where you are in a room and 20,000 people are yelling about your hairline? Like
It's tough.
that is insane.
It's a
That
bad
is
beat.
that's so tough.
It's a
Oh,
bad beat. Anthony Stolar's 11 straight wins. He's hot. The Leafs have a goalie.
They
It's
I
do.
guess
scary.
so, yeah.
He's playing really well. Do we want to talk about the absolute nonsense that's going on with this warm-up thing?
Oh
Yes,
my God.
let's discuss. Did you see the video?
I did see the video.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
What like he didn't shoot it at him. He just like flipped it at him. I thought
Yeah.
like when I read the headline, I was like, okay, so he like Ridley Gregged him from like the
Yeah,
red
right.
line or something.
So, for those who aren't aware of what we're talking about, the NHL announced they are doing an investigation on Ottawa Senator Nick Cousins for shooting pucks at goaltender Anthony Stolarz in warm-ups before game three started. And there's a video that surfaced where he is chipping pucks, I guess, in his vicinity, if you will. And this is just so like Battle of Ontario, like on brand. It just makes so much sense.
They're
Yeah.
former teammates. Yeah, they're doing an investigation. Who do they got? Fucking Inspector Jacques Clouseau from the Pink Panther or some shit doing it. Like, what kind of investigating are we doing?
You just see like one of the NHL officials like walking around with like a little like
No,
magnifying
literally,
glass or
that's what I'm
something.
picturing. It's ridiculous.
This has been a fun series to kind of watch with all the physicality. I'd say, other than maybe Winnipeg and St. Louis, this one's been pretty chippy. I've enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Um, I, I mean, I
It
listen.
sucks because it's been a good series. Like all the games
Yeah.
have been fun to watch, and
Yeah.
it really is a bummer. No matter who you want to win this, it's kind of a bummer that we're at 3-0 because that's not really any fun.
So, are the Leafs for real? For real? Everyone wants to know.
They look good, but listen, they're gonna have to play Florida or Tampa still next round.
Right.
Like we'll see. I mean, this is just the Senators. Like Sens are a good team, but that's it's a whole nother beast that they're gonna have to tackle. So we'll see.
I agree. They look good. I'm seeing some things I haven't seen from this Leafs team in years past. Goaltending
Mhm.
is one of them. Chippiness is one of them. Finishing,
Confidence.
yeah, that one too. Confidence is a big one. So looking good, but definitely need a little bit of more time to see what they're really made of.
Yeah.
Cannot emphasize enough how much I love those two deals, Carlo and Tanev, man. Those are paying dividends right now. Those are big bruising
Yep.
defensemen that are really helping them this year. So
True.
Yeah. I think McCabe is really underrated too.
yeah, he's had a
Hmm.
good series so far. So game four, I believe that one will be on Saturday. Let's see if the brooms come out here. So before we end the episode, because I believe we've talked about every series, if I'm not mistaken. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. No, we have. Right now, on Friday. Now, granted, some teams have more games played than others. Some series are 2 games in, some are 3 games in. Who do you think, according to DraftKings, is the odds-on favorite at this moment in time to win the Stanley Cup?
It could be the Leafs just because they have a 3-0 lead.
They are the third.
Okay. Interesting.
Feel like it's not going to be the Jets, so I'm going to go with the Panthers.
The Jets are fourth. The Panthers are second.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you guys have gotten second, third, and fourth. But who do you think holds that first place spot?
No
Don't tell me
way.
it's like the
No
fucking
way.
Oilers or something.
It is not the, no,
Okay,
definitely not.
thank God.
It's not many.
It's not many, no.
Did we already say Tampa?
Oh, I know what he's
It's
doing. This
not.
is a
It's
trap.
not.
Is
It's
it
not Tampa.
Vegas?
It's not Vegas. No. 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 No.
Colorado?
No.
Dallas?
Nope.
What is going on? I'm not gonna say. I'm not. There's one team I'm just not even going to say. So it
Same.
better not be
Well,
them.
is it your team or is it the team you hate? Because I feel like you're going in one of the directions.
I'm not going to say the name of my favorite hockey team right now. I'm not going to do that.
Same.
Well, good news for you because they are fifth place, actually. The
Okay.
Carolina Hurricanes are the odds-on
Oh,
Oh,
favorite
come on.
as of today to win the Stanley Cup.
okay. Yep.
Come on.
Let's get you back to bed, Grandpa.
Hurricanes, Panthers, Leafs, Jets, Capitals in that order. That's your top five.
Okay.
Wow.
Sure.
We'll see what happens.
I'm
I
like
think
genuinely surprised the Stars aren't higher than the Caps on that list.
Yeah.
I just think it's because of that first round matchup. Can we be very honest here? I'm pretty confident in what I'm about to say. I'm actually very confident in what I'm going to say. The Caps or the Hurricanes are going to the Cup out of the East. I swear to you. I swear to you. I've said it before in the previews,
I
and I
I
don't
don't
stand by
know.
it.
The Leafs and the Panthers to me look like the two
I am
teams to
telling
beat
you.
in the East right
I,
now.
I think they're going to kill each other. And the Caps and the Canes will kill each other too, but I feel it in my plums.
yeah, I feel like it depends on who comes out of the
Uh,
Atlantic. It's like if it was the Leafs, I think the Caps can beat the Leafs. I don't know if the Caps can beat the Panthers in a
I
seven-game
completely
series.
agree. I completely agree.
I
If it
said
was
this in
like
the
March Madness style, one game, why not?
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I don't. Although we played them pretty well this season, but that
but they
doesn't
had
mean
those
shit.
nine guys who weren't there.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it in the previews too, and I'm keeping it consistent. I really do believe that Caps Canes second round, if it happens, is going to determine a whole lot in the East. And it's going to be a movie. I can't wait.
Mm,
As
That
a
is going
third
to be a
party
movie.
with no
yeah.
skin in the game,
Oh
I am so
God.
pumped for that. All right. Anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap up here?
Let's go, Caps.
Yep.
All right. Good luck at the Bell Center this evening. Thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate the love and support as always. We'll be back with you after the weekend action is over, and we will talk to you in the next one.